So welcome to the third podcast of the Jords YouTube channel. Joining me today, as always, is Anna Ryan. How you going, mate?
Going on, mate? How you going?
Very well. You did save my week this week. I nearly brought in Marshall, and you said Daniel. I think we spoke about it on the podcast and in the Discord as well.
Yeah,
So
mate. You owe me a beer.
you knew he was coming down with something, so that really helped a lot. So
No,
yeah, when I come down to Melbourne, I'll shout you on.
absolutely.
So anyway, how'd your week go?
Was heading all right until Whitfield and Liver let me down Saturday night. So 21.72 put me up 3 spots to 461. So pretty much as about as par as you can get. How about
Yeah,
yourself?
I think a lot of people had Whitfield and Liver, so not too much to worry about. But
No.
I scored 2,259. I think it's probably 70, about 100 above par, I think. So that's pretty good. And I'm ranked 9 in front of you, so I'm ranked 452, and you're 461. So
Yeah.
2 points difference, and that was your captain choice of Travis Boak over
Yeah.
Grundy.
Grundy.
So
Yeah. Oh well.
so yeah, happens. But yeah, win some, lose some. So
All right.
to start off, we can talk about the rookies and a few interesting ones. We've got 6 names here. So there are
Yeah.
3 on the bubble. The first one, Will Hayes. So he's mature age. I think he plays on a wing at the Dogs. Played okay. I think he kicked a goal, 15 touches, and pretty much looks like the only mid option this round. So if you missed Ross or Stack, it's not good, I guess. But not much you can do now. You missed the boat there. So I think I'm going to skip Hayes out of necessity. I don't think I need him at the moment. But if I needed a midfield downgrade, I would get him. Do you have any thoughts on him?
We'll talk about it later with my trades or our trades, but I'm contemplating getting him. I just have to, yeah, contemplate whether it's worth doing an Atkins or a Butters down to him just to get Lloyd in. But we'll speak about that later.
Yeah, I think he would be unlucky if he lost his spot in the team. I think he will hold it, but it'll be performance based, so he needs to
Yeah,
probably needs 18, 20 touches a game to keep his spot. So I think it's minor risks, but yeah, one you can go for if you want. So don't mind Hayes this week. Put up pretty big numbers in the VFL, so hopefully that can convert. The next guy, Louis Young, I believe. I know zero about this guy, I think. I just think his job security is not very good for the Dogs, and his scoring potential is a little
yeah.
bit better than Noah Bolter's, maybe plus
Oh,
10, 15 points.
that's not
So,
saying much.
yeah, well, that's what he's done so far. I'm not sure if he has any scoring potential, but happy to skip that one if you're okay with that.
Yeah, I don't think his role fitted to Supercoach at all. And as you said, I don't even know if his job security will hold up anyway. So skip Young for me.
Doesn't look like it.
No.
Yeah. Okay, so Josh Rotham from the Eagles. Eagles are getting hammered away, it seems.
Yep.
So basically, Tom Cole would be the one he comes in for, if possible. And I think Barras,
Yeah.
I don't think he played on the weekend. Do you know about that?
I still have that for a bit, as far as I'm aware. So,
Okay,
um,
so
yeah,
so Rotham might come in for Cole. So Cole scored 15 in Supercoach. Obviously not a Supercoach friendly role, but didn't do a
down
whole
it.
lot.
He still didn't do much. So,
Yeah.
um,
So if
yeah,
Rotham is named, you jump on him because he has a 98 in his second game.
yeah, he's good for
So
some for a few
he'll
weeks.
make,
Couple.
yeah, he gets 2 games. He'll make one, 110, 120k,
Yeah, yep.
probably at worst, really. So really nice skills I've heard of Josh Rotham. So
Mate, how did Tom Cole only get 4 touches with 86% time on ground in the back line that got hammered?
I don't know.
How the hell
Tom
did that?
Hawkins was probably marking everything. He
Oh,
was probably scared of Gary Ablett, just intimidated by the presence.
wow.
I would be too. I love Ablett. I think he's their best player still. Him and Dangerfield,
Yeah, no, he's
based on
definitely
the
playing
final series last year.
beyond the most votes, you'd say, in the Brownlow right now for him.
Yeah, He's amazing. 35 in a few weeks, I think.
Crazy. Alright. So they're
Yeah.
the
So
ones on the bubble.
yeah. So to recap the guys on the bubble: Hayes, yes, if you want to. Young, no. Rotham,
No.
definitely if he's named, I think.
Yeah. Yep.
Because if he gets dropped for Cole, then that means that because last time he came in because of an injury to Jeddah, but this time he's coming in based on performance rather than injury. So
You got more
yeah,
confidence. Yeah.
yep. So he's not going to come straight out. So now we can go to the one gamers. Ainsworth is the first option we'll talk about. Defender
man.
mid option. Yes, Ainsworth. Take an interest in him because I need a downgrade in defense, and we just
Talking.
don't have one.
I know.
Yeah.
Corbett and Larky, they're the big key forwards.
Yeah.
Did you watch
So,
either of them play?
I'll talk
I
about
didn't think.
Ainsworth. I'll touch on Ainsworth first,
Yeah, okay.
and then we'll go into those two. I think Corbett and Larky are options, but just on Ainsworth. So he's been in the system 2 years, I believe. No, he was drafted last year, but he was overlooked in the draft before because of injury.
Okay. Yep.
He's apparently played extremely well in the NEFL. He looks ready, like AFL ready body. 20 years old in 6 weeks, I think. Done a lot of research and
Clearly.
looks like a level-headed kid, young fella. So really promising start. Had a quiet first half, but worked his way into the game. I think plays either halfback and a little bit lockdown as well. So he's not really a like for Harris Andrews because Andrews is a fair bit taller than him.
Yep.
So I think it's risky to go early on him. I might do it because I think he'll get a run of games. He will need to have a decent second game. Yeah, I don't mind Ainsworth as an option. It's better to wait a week, but if you want to go early on him, sure, in my opinion. Would you go early on him?
Rotham's name, you would go Rotham over Ainsworth, wouldn't you?
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
So that's my thoughts on Ainsworth. So yeah, did a fair bit of digging on him. So have you seen much of Corbett or Larky on the weekend?
I was going to ask you. I only saw Larky on the Port North game, and he actually was juking a few. Like he looked really good. If North don't give him a run of games, there's something wrong with Brad Scott. Like
Yeah,
he should play every, if not all game, like all games the rest of the year. He showed a bit, so yeah, he's definitely an option if he can score well enough. But yeah, Corbett didn't see any of, so
both played well.
Yeah.
So both played well. Corbett had his moments, kicked a few goals, got his hands on the ball. Obviously, when you're a key forward in a was it 10-goal loss or something in a Q clash, it's not that doesn't help. And Gold Coast fixture gets a lot more difficult. West Coast away, Melbourne, and then after that it's a lot more hard teams as well, including Geelong. So I don't think Corbett has scoring potential. You can't play him on field if you want to bring him in. Larky has a slightly friendlier draw, and I think both hold their spot. It's just a matter of who you prefer, really. You don't have to have either of them. Another one is I haven't got him written down here, but Matthew Allen from West Coast. Do you know anything about him?
No.
He's a big-bodied mid. He used to be I think he was a key position player. Then he started playing keepers midfield for West Coast. So he might come in for the West Coast side. He's been in the system for 4 years, so hasn't been given a chance yet. So he might come in. He's a midfield forward, one to watch out for. But
I think Redden didn't play, so
yeah. So yeah, he,
job security, but yeah, we'll see if he gets named.
Yeah, see, but I think he will get named pretty soon. But yeah, one to watch out for. So to summarize, Ainsworth, it's not really ideal to go early on rookies, but in my situation, I kind of need someone this week. So I might, so if Rotham's not named, I'm probably going to do it and probably regret it. And then Corbett and Lucky, we can look at next week. All right, next we can talk about the rookies that most of us have and what to do with them. So Willem Drew, I'm not as bullish on Drew as I think everyone else is because he's averaging about
Yeah.
low to mid 60s since Ollie Wines came back. And not only that, I was just reading a few things from Port supporters, and they were saying he might come out the side. It's possible. I think Ken Hinkley sounds like he wants to persist with the young guys, but just for team balance sort of thing. So, because he's not able to play as much inside mid as as his role suggests, or that's the type of player he is.
Yeah.
So his break even is 4. So hopefully he gets another game. He might play good against Collingwood this week. That's a tough matchup. But do you have any thoughts on what to do with Drew?
He gets dropped. I don't think you can trade him out just because of that break even. I'd be holding on, hoping he comes back. I mean, we guess we could say he's fluked a couple of hundreds, but they're still there, so they still.
I think he deserved those hundreds though. He played well in the JLT as well.
Yeah.
It's just Ollie Wines coming back.
He did get dropped. I'd be holding on to him. If you could cover him in your forward line.
Yeah, because if Port get an injury to pepper spray or any of the other blokes in there,
decent cash. So
yeah. But yeah, I'm actually gonna try and bench him this week because he plays Collingwood.
Who for?
I'm gonna send him up to the midfield.
Okay.
And bring in a forward primo we can speak about after.
Right.
So Drew's one we should keep an eye on. I don't think he's a guy anymore that you just play on field all the time. It used to be like that 3 weeks ago, but I don't think it's like that anymore. So yeah, keep an eye on Drew, but if he plays, you probably still play him on field, I guess. Now Charlie Constable, pretty obvious one. Hold, agree?
Yeah, his break even's 37, but he's gonna play mid-time. Had his rest, so yep, definitely hold him and keep fielding him.
He's had 62% time on ground. I'm not sure why. I don't understand. He just had a week off.
Really? All right.
So 79 from 62% time on ground. That's probably one of the better ratios in the entire AFL. So yeah, absolutely hold. And that's the thing with Constable and Walsh on field sort of thing. It's like a lot of people want to get Fife in, but it's just not optimal right now because of these rookies just doing the job.
Yeah, I've read it. Yeah.
Now, Xavier Dersma, Arrow Man, his break even. I don't mind his celebration. What do you reckon?
I read it.
Yeah, it's good. His break even's 25. Still a field or bench option for mine. But yeah, definitely a hold.
He seems to be kicking some goals to get boost his scores a bit, which is, I mean, not lucky, but because he's doing it. But if he doesn't kick him or he may be scoring 50s. But I mean, while he's scoring 80s, I'll keep fielding him, I guess.
He did get the Rising Star nomination this week, but that was probably because of I think he kicked 2 goals this week. I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's interesting. That's probably a worse thing if he needs to score goals.
I think he's
not going to happen.
He's kicked probably 7 or 8.
Oh, really? That's pretty good.
Yeah.
That's really good.
6 or 7, something like that. So, anyway.
Yeah, so definitely hold Dersma. And finally, Marty Hoare. A pretty obvious one. I think you hold him for as long as you can. He's out of Scrimshaw, Wilkie, Moore, Collins, Dersma, all these guys, the one you hold on to the most, I think, is Hoare.
Yeah. I mean, he still only had, 2 price rises, right? So,
yeah, he's able.
So,
yeah, so he's allowed to play that, play off his man a little bit, so which is really good. So, yeah, love having Hoare in the team. He's doing an amazing job. I think besides the first game he played, he's averaging in the 90s, I think. So that's amazing.
Yeah.
Now, we'll look at some more rookies on whether we should trade them or hold them. So first one is Sam Collins. You're an owner of Collins. What are you going to do with him?
He's definitely the one I'm trading. Whether or not between my two trades I'm tossing up, he's in both of them. So he'll pretty much 99.9% be going out of my side this week. Um, so yeah, his break even's quite high now. He hasn't been scoring well. Get him out before he bleeds, really.
Yeah, I agree with that. He's going to have some good scores and then have some shockers as well. So don't want to cop those shockers. So yep, agree with that. Now Scrimshaw, I have Scrimshaw. I think I'm going to trade him this week, but I am not against holding him at all. His break even is 58, and he plays Melbourne. So I'm thinking Melbourne win the clearances a lot against Hawthorn, and that means more ball for Scrimshaw, because that is what happened against Carlton when Hawthorn played Carlton. In the third quarter, Scrimshaw pretty much died because Hawthorn were winning nearly every clearance, where it was the
Exactly. Yeah.
opposite in the first half.
Yeah. No, true. Agree with
So
that. Yeah. Carlton were dominating. He was getting heaps of the pill.
So I'm really tight for cash, and I might need Scrimshaw. Might be the one that I get rid of, but
Yeah.
I think Scrimshaw is an on-field option this week. So ideally, I would hold him for another week. To be honest, I think he'll have a good week.
Yeah. If anything, he'll hold cash, or if he scores 50, he'll bleed like a couple K. It won't be much. So
Yeah, he
I don't
scores
think that's big.
50, he'll be the same.
Yeah. There you go.
So yeah, don't mind Scrimshaw holding. Now Jordan Clark, I believe Chris Scott said that he's coming back in.
Yeah.
So probably a hold, I guess, but not going to
Okay.
make much more.
Oh yeah, I'm holding for now. See if he can fluke a big score.
Yep. And Darcy Moore played well on Danaher. Actually, Danaher snagged a few, but still played well more last week.
Yeah.
He's
No,
almost 350k, averaging 78. I see a lot of people getting rid of Moore, and if it means getting in a player you consider a must-have, I think that's fine. I'm going to hold, I think. I just think his dual position status and he's a reliable on-field option. I kind of like having that at the moment. Um, so what are you going to do with Moore, do you think?
I only see trading more an option if you don't have Collins, because if you have Collins and more and you need to trade one, it's Collins,
Yeah,
100%. Um, Moore's honestly been killing it, mate. Every game I've watched him play, he's literally toweling it up. He I know he said Dano kicked a couple. He still stopped that many attacks. Um, and when they got Port this week, I watched the Port Tigers game, 2 or 3 weeks ago, and Port just bombed it in there. So if he's able to get his hands on a few, he could have quite a few intercept marks this week. So actually expecting a decent score from him.
yeah, I'm glad you said that actually, because now that makes me want to hold him even more. I think more.
Because
Yeah.
I think Glenn Grimes had about six in the last quarter that game. If Port playing their dirty ball or whatever
Oh,
they were saying
yeah.
on Friday night against the Pies, then he'll eat heaps of them up.
Yeah. Okay, so yeah, definitely like more. So more, I think, yeah, hold him unless it means you really need the cash desperately. If you're like big on that five or something like that.
Yeah.
So that's the rookies for today, and now we can move on to the priority upgrade targets. Now, Tim Kelly, a man, I know you love Tim Kelly. I don't, but I might need him regardless. Don't like him for other reasons, but dude can play serious. Um,
Oh, just
he
gonna
was a
play.
bit. I didn't think he dealt with the tag very well on Hutchings, but he just got so many tackles. I think
Yeah.
he had 11 tackles, so yeah, didn't feel like getting the ball. Just said, "Screw this! I'm just going to tackle you instead." So he's bottomed out, I think. Has it Essendon this week in the country game, I think.
Off the week
So
after, and
yeah,
then Doc the week after that. So yeah, that's got a good run coming up.
yeah. So he has a really nice run. So I think this week is the week to get Tim Kelly. I think you can still get him next week. Ideally this week though. So I'm
Yeah.
actually, I actually think I'm going to get him in this week. Um, I thought he would drop more to when he got tagged by Howe and Hutchings. Apparently not. So just move on from that. So what are your thoughts on Tim Kelly? Is he a huge priority this week?
Yeah, if I decide on my forward or defense trade, if it's the forward trade I'm going to go, then it's Kelly or Daniel. And yeah, I'll heavily consider Kelly for sure with that run coming up. It's just got to have a bigger look at the buys and whether or not it will hurt too much. Because you got to be wary with him, Danger, and Heaney.
Yeah.
So another thing.
I prefer Daniel to Tim Kelly.
Do you now?
Yeah. One thing I want to say about Tim Kelly just quickly, I think sometimes he wakes up on the wrong side of bed, and when he plays, he just does nothing some games. Last year he had a few shockers
Yeah, before.
where he just completely disappeared. I don't know why. Maybe he wasn't feeling well or something like that, but
Didn't want to play.
yeah, it was like even in the second half against GWS, De Boer went to Dangerfield. Tim Kelly still did nothing for that the second half without the tag. So sometimes he just doesn't feel like turning up. I mean, I don't know for sure, but it happened last year.
Yeah, see what
It
you're saying.
happened. It happened in JLT1, but I don't think you can count that. But just something to be wary of, I think, with Tim Kelly, because I think we all get seduced by his best, which is pretty damn good, but
Yeah,
just something to be wary of. He's capable of having like really bad games.
yeah, more inconsistent. Yeah.
And another guy at his price range is Caleb Daniel. So I brought him in this week. Big fan of him. I think he's played about 10 games at halfback, and I think he's gone below 90 once, maybe twice, but I think once. So I think he's going to be top six defender. So I really like Daniel, and I think we all need him eventually, to be honest. What do
Yeah.
you think?
Yeah, he's up on my list this week next to Lloyd. So yeah, if I do the forward trade, he'll be in for sure. I've been big on him all year with that role that he's playing. Games I've watched him, he just takes all the kick outs, hits most of his targets. Like he even scoring 100, like turning up even with 5 or 6 clangers in a game. So
Yeah,
he could be in for a big score every now and then if he disposes of it well. So massive on him,
the
especially
kicking.
also to go on as well. So
Yeah, I think the kicking rules have definitely stuffed things up this year a little bit. Because all the defenders are like they're all going to be 600k. It's
it's
just
just long,
incredible.
it's just
Yeah,
for easy every time.
I think Daniel's going to have a really big game soon. Um,
Yeah,
Even though he
like
hasn't really gone above 120, I think he has it in him. But we'll see what happens. He's putting up big disposal numbers, but yeah. So you love Daniel. Now Nathaniel Fife is 560 something k, 564 I think. Has the early buy, which really helps, I think. Only shares that with McRae and Bont. Um, so I like Fife. If I didn't have Walsh or Constable and I had Butters on field, I'd be looking to get in Fife, but it's just not
yeah,
possible for me. Do you have any thoughts on Fife?
yeah. I just agree with the whole midfield sort of trade upgrading at the moment. If I have Washington Constable on field, which I do, I would be doing it for like a Crouch or Libba. Just upgrading one of them and downgrading elsewhere because we're perfectly fine fielding those two at the moment, like you said. So, yeah, because I just think I'll hold Libba and Crouch for a bit longer. I think I'll be upgrading elsewhere, the near future. What do you
Yep,
reckon?
that's an interesting one that you bring up, Libba. I've seen people wanting to trade him out.
Yeah, no.
Oh man, I don't. I mean, it's hard to tell if he's slowing down or not. But it was only 3 4 weeks ago he had the 130 and the 150,
Yeah, I think
and
people see the 115 break even and just get scared that he isn't going to
he's
make it.
almost a keeper. He's averaging more than I think two of my mids. No,
Yeah,
he's averaging the same as Sloan and more than Steele. Um, I would hold him. I mean, it's hard. You don't know if he's slowing down or not, but I think I've seen enough to say that he's a hold, in my opinion.
yeah, for the time being, for sure. Averaging more than Clary as well.
Yeah. Oh my, and Canelio.
Uh,
So Jackson McRae, he's going to drop a lot. His break-even's 175. I think in 2 weeks he'll be about 570, 560. I think you really should get him in if you don't have him
Yeah,
because
definitely.
his ceiling is very large. Yeah, yeah, definitely get in Jackson McRae. I would if McRae and Fife for the same price in 2 weeks. I'd be going for McRae,
Yep.
more durable as well. And Lockie Whitfield, this is the stars have aligned for me here.
All right.
Yeah, you'd be a spewing because it was such a great starting pick. He was
Uh,
unbelievable, and I'm thinking I gave up on him. I'm like, I'm not going to get him in for the season,
it
but
was Sam Lloyd 60k cheaper, and in 2 weeks and out the window.
yeah.
What can you do?
So we'll just watch what the reports say on him this week. He has a
Man,
corked
this week, yeah.
thigh. I don't know how bad it is, or not really up to date with the type of injury.
Yeah.
Um,
So it's
but
got two written down here, but if he doesn't play this week, that obviously push probably a week back again when he'll
yeah,
be bottom out.
so after he plays 2 games, you have to bring him in. You just have to if he looks 90%, 100% fit.
Yeah.
So that's kind of screwed up it's changed my trading plans all of a sudden because now I have to plan if he plays this week, I have to get Whitfield in 2 weeks.
Correct.
Um, so yeah, very lucky for non-owners. So those are the priority guys. And finally, I think we'll talk about captains as well, but we can talk about the players that are really expensive and what do we do about them. So Lloyd, Boak, Hearn, Sicily, Merritt. These guys are kind of out of reach at the moment. Um, so for me, the one out of the 600k guys, I want Jake Lloyd.
Yeah.
The problem is if I'm getting in Jake Lloyd, I have to delay it a week, so I have to do 2 downgrades and then the next week do an upgrade.
Yeah.
Whereas I can do a one up, one down and get another premium elsewhere a week earlier. So take one rookie off the field. So it's a bit of a tough one. The only one I would pay for is Lloyd. But if I didn't have, say, Merritt, because I really want Merritt in my team, I would wait to the buys where we have 3 trades, so we can do it all in 1 week,
Yeah.
and there's just a lot more flexibility. And the buys aren't too far away. So, um, do you think you'll get Lloyd in this week?
Yeah, that's what I'm tossing up now. I did that last week where I double downgraded to an extent. I did Burgess to Lockhart, which got me what, 50k, 70k, and then I did the Baker trade as well. So I have 200k sitting there right now. I can do the Collins, or excuse me, Atkins to Hayes, and then Collins up to Lloyd, and still have about 50k left. So yeah, it's whether or not I think Hayes is even worth getting in or not. As to do this trade or not. Um,
I
but
would do that trade if it
yep,
means getting in Lloyd this week. If you're prepared to do it this week, I would do it.
yeah, I
I
think I will.
I
Yeah,
think he's probably averaged like 105 in the past 3 weeks, which is low for him. He had attention from De Boer uh, last week. He did score a 170 last year.
I did have
Um,
him.
oh man, there's your season right there. But yeah. So recapping, even Boak, a lot of people don't have Boak. His ownership is still really low. I think it's 15% or something like that.
Crazy.
Um,
Yeah,
something like that. With Boak, he is the first buy. I would wait for the first buy. They play in China, they have the buy, and then they come back. Yeah, wait till they come back and then get in Boak that week, in my opinion. Um,
it'll come back down a little bit. You'd think. Mm.
hopefully not.
Yeah, I mean, I'll be happy if he averages 120 for the rest of the year, but
Yeah.
we'll see.
So vice captains and captains this week. I'm thinking. So I think Neil and Cripps are the two. Neil, Cripps, Grundy are the three you have to consider every week. maybe Gawn as well. I'm thinking Neil against the Swans at the Gabba,
Yeah,
into Cripps against North.
I think that's what I'll do too.
One thing to note is, so Gawn has played his last 2 games against McAvoy. I think he's averaged, I think he had a 120 and a 110-ish, something like that. And then Grundy played Lysette in the grand final and scored 140 on him. Grundy didn't have his best game, but still scored 140.
Yeah.
So I'm really not sure. It's definitely out of these 3. McRae plays Richmond as well. McRae's a tad out of form though, so I'm not sure.
Yeah, I think Nick Cripps is safe, but yeah, McRae's a decent pot option.
Just because Richmond leak a bit of points in the midfield.
Correct. We leak points everywhere, mate. We're the worst coach team, like, in history, I think. Like, none of our players score points.
That's weird. You guys still win though. Grimes just catches everything in defence.
Yeah, don't care about the Supercoach points if we win.
No, Supercoach points still important. If the Crows win and Sloan gets tagged out, I'm not happy at all. Bad day.
So what's the trades?
I'm thinking he's going to make a comeback this week. The man Tim Kelly. I thought he'd be cheaper, but whatever. So I'm thinking I'm going to put Drew in the midfield. Atkins, trade out Tom Atkins, bring in Tim Kelly, and then downgrade Scrimshaw to Rotham or Ainsworth. Yeah. That's what I'm thinking. I'm going to hold Butters because he plays well in away games for some reason. It's just been a trend. I'm thinking he does that again this week.
Low break even too, so yeah.
Yep, same break even as Tom Atkins, but a better ceiling. So that'll be my trades for this week, and then next week will be double downgrade, I think, all going well. So do you know what your trades will look like so far?
I think locked me into the Collins or the Atkins down to Hayes, depending if he gets picked, let's hope he does. And then Collins up to Lloyd. Just, up my back line pretty good.
It looks so much better with Jake Lloyd in.
Yeah, it gets the going. And I've got Lloyd and Whitfield now, so I can't really, I've got both of them, so.
Yep, so you just got to wait for Hearn or Sicily to come down or something, I guess.
Yep.
I think that's all for today. Yep, so those are our trades, and we'll do this next week, I guess. And I hope you all have a good weekend, and thanks for joining me again, Ben.
Always, mate. Catch you next week.
See you, mate.